In this review, I'm just going to cover my experiences in the past 2 years. If you need any technical information about the system, please stop by the SimpliSafe website. SimpliSafe is a do-it-yourself wireless home security system. What happens is that you order the system, and when the system arrives, you install it yourself. Don't worry, it's actually pretty easy to install. I installed it in less than an hour. SimpliSafe also provides a home monitoring system. Stop by the website to see the different levels and prices of the service. And the best thing is there's no long-term contract required. One of the first things that I noticed about the system is how cheap it looks. The plastics, the buttons, and the design just look really cheap to me. But as you can see, after 2 years of daily use, the control panel looks like new. The buttons do not look worn at all, and it still works perfectly. I've only had to change the batteries once in the 2 years it's been used. Just be careful to use good quality batteries. What I did was replaced it with a cheap Costco batteries, and the control panel started acting weird. Replacing the batteries with Duracell solved the issues with no more problems. The one thing that I don't like about the control panel is that there is no backlighting on the keypad. When it's dark and you need to turn off the system, you're going to have a hard time looking for the right keys. You will need to install this control panel in a well-lighted area. The base station looks like a deodorizer. It looks like it belongs in the bathroom. But don't worry, you can actually paint it and it will still work. Just make sure to avoid painting areas that are used to connect cables and USBs. As far as the sound of the alarm that comes from the base station, the best way to describe it is that it's good enough. You'll definitely know that an alarm is sounding, but if you need a louder noise, you're going to have to purchase a separate alarm that you can easily pair with the system. The one thing I noticed right away with the door and window sensors is that it's very large and looks ugly. This is because it has to carry batteries. In the 2 years that I've had them, I've never had to change batteries on the sensors, and they still work fine. I installed one sensor above the garage door, exposing it to really hot and really cold environment, and they work just fine. Your results may vary. The motion sensors very seldom give out any false alarm. I'm guessing that this is due to how I've installed them. The one time that they did act up was because the batteries were dying out. A change of batteries solved the false alarm right away. In the 2 years that I've owned them, I've only had to change the batteries once. This was consistent with all of my motion sensors. And I have a lot of motion sensors installed in my house. The sound sensor only gave off an alarm once, and that was because of a loud sound in the house. So I guess that means that it worked. SimpliSafe has a smartphone app that they just updated about a week ago before this review. I can't comment on the Android version, but the iPhone app worked most of the time. The new version is definitely an improvement over the old one. I use the app a lot of times to turn on and off the system, and it works about 90% of the time. It does have its flaky moments. The response time has definitely improved over the years. A long time ago, I noticed one time that it would take minutes for the call to come after the alarm sounded. Recently, however, the call would come in less than a minute after the alarm sounded. This is a big improvement from what it was before. I found that the operators have always been friendly and professional. I like the system. I've had both ADT and Honeywell in my old house, and this system is definitely comparable to them, and in some cases even better.